Hello everyone, in this video we will be talking about how to land a job as a pharmacy assistant in Canada. When I came to Canada, I started to roam around the downtown Toronto and dropping in my resumes to all the pharmacies that I see. So I might have done that for so many days, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks, but I did not get any response. So I thought that I have to change some things. And then 1 year later, when I was trying to get back into the pharmacy assistant position. That time I changed some things, and then in 3 days I got a call and I had a job as a pharmacy assistant with me. So what changed? I will be telling you my story and also how it can help you to land a job as a pharmacy assistant in Canada. So if you're someone looking for it, this video might be for you. We will also be talking about what works and what does not work. I'll be starting with what does not work, and also what mindset we have to change to increase the chances. I think it increases the chances 10 times. So if you decide to do something like this, what does the future hold for you? What can you think about that? So starting with why and what did not work. So when I landed in Canada, as I mentioned, that I started applying for the pharmacy assistant jobs because I was a pharmacist back home, and so it made sense to apply for the pharmacy assistant positions. But I think there were 2 or 3 major reasons. One was that I did not have any idea about how the Canadian work culture is. So that's one thing. Second thing was, I think I was hunting for the job in the downtown where I think there were so many people who were coming and dropping in the resumes, and those people would be having better profiles than me. And the third thing, which also matters, I think, is my resume. My resume making skills were also not good at that time. So I think that also matters. So I decided to change a few things. The first thing that I thought was I need to get some Canadian work experience at a place where I can get to know how things work. So that was the most important thing that I thought about. Now, I'm not saying that you should also do the same, but what I mean by this is if you're stuck right now and not getting a pharmacy assistant job, and you're doing some other work or you're getting some other job, so any job that gets you the Canadian experience and that gets you the experience on how things work here, how to talk to people, that is a big step ahead, and it will definitely help you in the journey. And while searching for the same, I got a job at a very busy restaurant in downtown Toronto, and there I started as a runner, and then I moved up to a server position, and because I was enjoying it, I did it for like a year, and that was a really great experience for me. I learned a lot of things, and how the Canadian culture is, things like that I learned there. And then about 1 year from then, I decided to move to my field, that was the pharmacy. So I started looking for the pharmacy assistant jobs. Now this time, the complete process was different of applying. What I decided to do was I made a decision that what I'll do is every single day I'll go in different directions. So east, west, north, and south from my house. So I used to go to the bus stop and just start, let's say, from the east. And what I would do is until 30 minutes, as many pharmacies that would come in between the bus stops, I would go there and drop in my resumes. So it would take me many hours because there were many pharmacies where I was living, so on that road as well. What I would do is I would get down to the stop and then search in the Google Maps at whatever pharmacies are near me, and I would go there and drop in the resumes. I did it for day 1, then day 2, and day 3 as well. Fortunately, from there I got a call back from one of the managers. This call I got on day 3 after I came back after dropping my resumes. What he did was he took a phone interview at the same time. When he called, he asked me that if I was free, and he took a phone interview. And when he was satisfied with me, at that point he asked me to come to the pharmacy for a trial shift. At that point he just said that you just come there and we'll see how you work and if you can learn or not. So next day I went there for the trial shift, and I worked there for the whole day, and then he just said that okay, you can come from tomorrow, and I just got hired like that without even any prior experience at any pharmacy. One very important thing here that I would also suggest you to do is you should apply both in person and online, because in person it also matters a lot. Because what happens is in person, when you're going and applying, just go there, you ask for a manager, If the pharmacy manager is there, you drop and hand your resume to the pharmacy manager. Many times it will happen that they will ask you that do you have any experience, and like some basic questions while taking the resumes. So what happens is when you are talking to them face to face, at that point it's a completely different connection than what then the kind of connection you can make through an email while you're sending your resume to them, or through a job application through Indeed. So those are completely different things, and I think in-person drop-in for a pharmacy assistant job might be a better fit for everyone as well. Now, another important thing that I want to mention is where to focus, like what kind of pharmacies you should be focusing on. I think you should be focusing on the private kind of pharmacies, because private pharmacies where there's like a single owner and who's also running the pharmacy, I think the chances of you getting in is higher when you compare it to going for a chain pharmacy like Shoppers Drug Mart or Walmart pharmacy, or any kind of chain pharmacies, or a big chain pharmacies. Because the thing is, in the private pharmacies, when you're going and dropping in your resume, most of the times it can happen that you're dropping into the person who is directly responsible for hiring, and they can make the decisions directly. So that's one thing. And if they like you, when they talk to you, they like your personality, you can get an interview from them. But at the same time, and at the chain pharmacies, what the major barrier that I feel is referrals. So what happens is, in the chain pharmacies, many times I've seen that people who have some kind of referral, or some friend is working, or someone is working there whom they know, they can get into those pharmacies a little bit easier. Because let's say if someone is working in Shoppers Drug Mart or somewhere like that, and then they tell the manager that if there is a position, I have a friend who is so what happens is they will definitely give them at least an interview. It's not a guarantee, of course, at that point as well, but they will give them an interview. But the main point here is, if you're trying to get into the pharmacy without any reference, at that point the chances of getting in is better with the private pharmacies rather than the chain pharmacies. That's a very important point. So focus your energy accordingly. Another thing is, whenever you're dropping in the resume, and let's say you do not, in this case you do not have any experience, right? So do not drop in the resume and say that I'm looking for this job. Do you have it? Always add that you are okay to do volunteering work. Because if you do not have any experience, it is very rare that you will directly get a job. And if you're living in a city where there are multiple applicants and multiple people who are trying for the same job, then the competition is very high. At that point, what I would suggest is always offer that you can volunteer. So offer to volunteer for like 2 or 3 days in a week if they agree to it. And that's how there can be two things, like by which you can get a profit by this thing. The first thing is, many times I've seen for many of my friends as well, that they start with volunteering, and then what happens is the person they're volunteering for, or the pharmacy they're volunteering for, they like them, and then they hire them directly in let's say 3 or 4 weeks. Or the second thing, what can happen is, if you're volunteering, you're helping them out, and then you learn how the pharmacy works, and you also learn the softwares that they are using. If they allow you to work on their softwares, that's really, really good. And what happens then is, you can add those things to your resume. And once you add those things to your resume, the chances again of getting an interview through even an Indeed or online application increases a lot, when compared to you say that you just have experience in your own country, or do not have any experience in that sector. Another very important point that has become very popular, and nowadays I'm also hearing about that many times, that do I need a diploma or a certification to become a pharmacy assistant? No, you do not need any kind of diploma or any certification to become a pharmacy assistant. It can help, of course, because they can tell you about the software like Crow and other softwares that pharmacies are using. It can teach you about that. You can add those in your applications, but do you need it? No, you do not need it, because I also got in without any certification. I also got in without any experience. So, and I have seen many people still getting in without any of those things. So there is no requirement. But however, the difference here is, like, if you are a technician at that point and you're looking for a pharmacy technician job, that's a completely different role. That's a regulated profession, and for that you will be needing a license, and there is a whole licensing exam for it. For those things you will be needing the license for it, but not for the pharmacy assistant. So nowadays there are many universities and colleges who are selling these courses, but rather than wasting your time and money on these things, I think you can try to start volunteering at the pharmacies and get the real experience of the pharmacy, and then you can get a job without doing any of those things. And finally, I want to talk about some things that I think no one talks about for the pharmacy assistants. So one thing is, does it even have a future? So it can have a future in a way. So first thing is, does it pay well? No, it does not pay well when you start. So when you're starting, most probably you will get something near the minimum wage or a little bit higher than that. But as you gain some experience, let's say like a year or so, after that, what you can do is you can shift to the corporate pharmacies. There are some corporate pharmacies, some specialty pharmacies where the rates can go up to like $25 to $30 an hour. Now the thing is, even $25 to $30 is not like a very high rate or very good pay. But the thing there is, once you shift there, what you can do is, like, while you're working as a pharmacy assistant there are multiple roles where you can jump to in the corporate. So when you are inside a company and then you want to jump inside the company, it gets easier for you. So let's say you're working as a pharmacy assistant in one of the corporate specialty pharmacy for 1 year, and then there is, let's say, an opening inside the company for another role. Let's say any role that kind of relates to the pharmacy assistant, or you can do like some kinds of certifications or other things that the company offers. Many times the companies also offer different kinds of certifications for you. So you do those things, and you can just directly apply internally, and then you can get an interview, which you wouldn't have gotten if you were outside the company. Very less chances, but inside you will get an interview, and then if the manager likes you, you can directly jump to that position, and that position can actually pay you well, and then that's how you can grow through the corporate ladder. So that's like one way to think about it. And another way, of course, is the PEBC. So if you're going for PEBC exams, the pharmacy experience is definitely going to help you a lot. Where you cannot learn some things that you learn in the pharmacy through a book. You do any course, you won't be able to learn that, and it will definitely help you when you're giving the exams. So I think that's all I want to talk about in this video. But if you have any questions about the same, please you can mention those questions in the comments, and I will try to answer as many as possible. I might have missed some points, so if you think that I have missed any of the points, you can mention those again in the comments, and I will try to answer those as well. Thank you for watching this video.